And welcome to the Take a Breather podcast with Stacy Eric and Eric Almeida. This is our Tapping Thursday episode where we'll be taking you through a tapping exercise where you can get an experience and a sampling of EFT and how it can help you. As always, like and subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and subscribe to us on any podcast platform you'd like to listen to us to. For instructions on how to tap and how to utilize the emotional freedom technique, please listen to episode number 2 of this podcast where we go through intimate detail on all of the points. And our disclaimer, as always, is that these Tapping Thursdays are not meant to diagnose or treat any particular issues. If you do experience a strong reaction, please pause the recording and keep on tapping until you calm down. And the faster you tap, the faster you will calm down. And we explain how that works in our early episodes, so please take a listen. And the goal of these Tapping Thursdays is to tap on a general feeling, not to do any deep healing. And but if you do end up having any particular old memories or thoughts that come up as you do these Tapping Thursdays, please write them down and either do some tapping work on your own, or you can contact a practitioner like one of us if you would want more intimate assistance. And if you would like to work with either myself or with Stacy, you can use the coupon code BREATHER on either one of our websites, which is listed in the show notes. So, ironically enough, today's topic is about asking for help. And so I am going to be in the client seat and Stacy's going to take it away as the practitioner. So it's all you, Stacy.
Thank you. Yes. So as Eric said, we're tapping on a general concept of asking for help, but I found for lots of people, the general idea of asking for help is an umbrella term for a lot of underlying limiting beliefs about ourselves and how we were treated in our families, our birth families, in school and everywhere. So a lot may come up for this particular tapping. And as always, as Eric said, just keep tapping and write it all down, because it's everything that pops into your brain during these tapping episodes is gold. It's stuff that your body and mind want to heal. So asking for help, Eric, if you could take a moment, and everyone at home as well, the breath and really arrive in this moment. And feel your feet on the floor, some nice breaths into your body. Letting go of whatever you've been thinking about before you arrived in this moment. And think about the idea of asking for help. You need something, you're not sure you can do it yourself, and you need someone to help you. And check into your body and see where that discomfort comes up around that idea of asking for help, and where it is in your body, and the type of feeling you have, and the emotions that come up around that. And on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 meaning you have no negative emotions whatsoever, feels totally neutral, the idea of asking for help, up to 10, where you're overwhelmed with negative emotions at the idea of asking for help. See where your number is. And sometimes people think, I don't have a number, just whatever pops into your mind, that can be your number, and you can write that down. So Eric, for you, when you check.
I am a 5.
Okay. So we have a 5 to start with Eric. Everyone else can have their own number to work from. And if you're ready, we'll go ahead and start tapping. Okay, so start with the side of the hand. Even though I have a very hard time asking for help.
Even though I have a very hard time asking for help.
I would like to completely love and accept myself.
I would like to completely love and accept myself.
Even though asking for help feels really scary.
Even though asking for help feels really scary.
I like to love and accept myself.
I would like to love and accept myself.
Even though the idea of asking for help makes me feel very vulnerable.
Even though the idea of asking for help makes me feel very vulnerable.
I would like to love and accept all that I am.
I would like to love and accept all that I am.
Okay, top of the head. I hate asking for help.
I hate asking for help.
Inside corner of the eye. It makes me feel weak.
It makes me feel weak.
Side of the eye. Asking for help means admitting there's something wrong with me.
Asking for help means admitting something is wrong with me.
Under the eye. And I don't want to admit that to anyone.
And I don't want to admit that to anyone.
Under the nose. I don't want people to know I don't have it all together.
I don't want people to know that I don't have it all together.
Crease the chin. I don't want to even think about the things I'm struggling with.
I don't want to even think about the things that I'm struggling with.
Collarbone. I would rather forget about all my problems.
I would rather forget about all of my problems.
Under the arm. And I certainly don't want to tell people about those problems.
And I certainly don't want to tell people about those problems.
Inside of the wrist. Asking for help feels like failure.
Asking for help feels like failure.
Side of the hand. I don't want to look needy.
I don't want to look needy.
Top of the head. I don't want to look incompetent.
I don't want to look incompetent.
Inside corner of the eye. I don't want to give up control.
I don't want to give up control.
Side of the eye. Besides, everyone's having a hard time.
Besides, everyone is having a hard time.
Under the eye. People don't have time to help me.
People don't have time to help me.
Under the nose. There's no one who wants to help me.
There's no one who wants to help me.
Crease of the chin. No one can help me.
No one can help me.
Collarbone. My needs aren't important.
My needs aren't important.
Under the arm. People will be angry with me if I ask for help.
People will be angry with me if I ask for help.
Inside of the wrist. I hate feeling vulnerable.
I hate feeling vulnerable.
Side of the hand. I should be able to take care of everything myself.
I should be able to take care of everything myself.
Okay, take a breath. Pause there. Breathing in into the lower abdomen. And you breathe out, let anything release that's willing to be released. More cleansing breaths. If you're having really strong emotions, keep tapping. Otherwise, check in and see how your body is feeling. See what thoughts and feelings came up while you were tapping. And write them down. And Eric, when you're ready, let us know what came up for you.
So for me, I was honestly surprised at how much I didn't react for most of that, which was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But the big thing was certainly your very last statement. That was what was kept popping in my head even before you said it. It was I should be able to fix myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always been kind of like, for me personally, the linchpin of like, that's been my belief as my eye is twitching. That's one of my ways of my psyche telling me that something is up. My eye twitches. So yeah, it's the belief that I could take care of myself and I don't need the help from other people.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna poke at that a little bit. So
Poke away.
where would you say, what are some of the underpinnings of that belief? Like, well, actually, first of all, what emotions come up when at the idea of needing someone to help you fix yourself?
It's funny because I'm having dueling perspectives. There's the healthy part of me that is like, people need help and that's not a big deal, like the kind of things I preach to other people. And then there's the other part of me that has been getting weaker, which is good, that is still kind of like, there's something, like you're stronger than that, or like you don't need someone else, or like,
so you're weak if you ask for help.
Yeah, there's more there, and I can't verbalize it, but my eye keeps twitching. So it's definitely a live nerve, figuratively and literally speaking. So Yeah, it's something I've been very stubborn about for ever. It's gotten
Yeah.
better, but it's still quite stubborn about.
Yeah. So the part that thinks that it's so you feel weak if you don't take care of yourself. What other qualities would
Okay. I don't trust other people when I'm vulnerable.
mm,
Like
mm-hmm,
I'm exposing myself and it's not safe.
mm.
I've never made that connection before. God damn it.
Darn that
Power of
EFT.
tapping. Sometimes you
Uncovering
get
stuff it
clarity.
didn't want to uncover.
I know, right? Oh, Christ.
Yeah, it's amazing for that. I swear. It just always blows my mind what just says, oh, here it is on a
Yep.
silver platter of exactly what the root belief is underneath this general feeling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's being vulnerable and and the distrust of letting someone else in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
There's a lot of history there that I'm gonna put aside for the moment.
Yes, and that's the thing with all of these. It's again, for those at home who may have had something similar come up, and this is where memories may well come up about, that correspond directly to the belief, and tapping on memories is a beautifully healing thing to do for ourselves as well. All right, so shall we do another round then?
Please, let's go.
Okay. All right, so we'll start on the side of the hand. Even though
Even though
I don't believe I should ever ask for help,
I don't believe I should ever ask for help,
I would like to love and accept myself.
I would like to love and accept myself.
Even though I believe
Even though I believe
I can't trust anyone to help me,
I can't trust anyone to help me,
I would like to love and accept myself.
I would like to love and accept myself.
Even though
Even though
asking for help from other people makes me too vulnerable,
asking for help from other people makes me too vulnerable,
I would like to love and accept myself.
I would like to love and accept myself.
Okay, top of the head. I should be able to fix myself.
I should be able to fix myself.
Inside of the eye. I shouldn't need anyone to help me fix myself.
I shouldn't need anyone to help me to fix myself.
Inside of the eye. I shouldn't need anyone to help me
I
in any
shouldn't
way.
I shouldn't need anyone to help me in any way.
Into the eye. I don't need help from anybody.
I don't need help from anybody.
Under the nose. I should be strong enough to take care of myself.
I should be strong enough to take care of myself.
Crease of the chin. I feel weak if I think I can't take care of myself by myself.
I feel weak if I don't think I can take care of myself by myself.
Collarbone. Part of me knows it's okay to ask for help.
Part of me knows that it's okay to ask for help.
Into the arm. But part of me has no interest in ever asking for help.
But part of me has no interest in ever asking for help.
Inside the wrist. It hates feeling weak.
It hates feeling weak.
Side of the hand. It wants to feel strong.
It wants to feel strong.
Top of the head. And doing everything myself makes me feel strong.
And doing everything myself makes me feel strong.
Inside corner of the eye. It's so uncomfortable to feel vulnerable.
It's so very uncomfortable to be vulnerable.
Side of the eye. It doesn't feel safe to be vulnerable.
It doesn't feel safe to be vulnerable.
Under the eye. And so it doesn't feel safe to let people know I'm vulnerable.
So it doesn't feel safe to let people know that I'm vulnerable.
Under the nose. I don't trust people to help me when I'm vulnerable.
I don't trust people to help me when I'm vulnerable.
Crease the chin. I wonder if they'll hurt me worse if I'm vulnerable and they know it.
I wonder if they'll hurt me more if I'm vulnerable and they know it.
collarbone. I'm afraid to trust people with my vulnerability.
I'm afraid to trust people with my vulnerability.
Under the arm. It's not safe to expose my vulnerabilities to other people.
It's not safe to expose my vulnerabilities to other people.
Inside the wrist. So I will protect myself from other people.
So I will protect myself from other people.
Out of hand. I can't trust anyone and I can't let them in.
I can't trust anyone or let them in.
Okay, so pause there for a second. Some breathing, some checking in how your body's feeling. Folks at home, you're tapping along with us with this issue or something else that's for in the top of your brain is your particular issue and asking for help. So Eric, when you check in, anything come up, any clarifications or new information?
It's certainly getting very weak, that
Okay.
belief. Yeah, there's part of me that's not. Towards the end, some of the phrases, there was part of me that wasn't resonating with them as much anymore. Like it was like like this part of me is kind of like, you know, I have been vulnerable a lot, and I haven't been attacked and anything and things like that. So, so in that regard, it's good. Yeah, there's not much left.
Okay, fantastic.
It's quite weak.
We've talked about parts theory much on the podcast, where internal family systems uses this idea that we're all multiple personalities, but we have the main self that's in charge of all those personalities, there's different literal parts of ourselves, and that often the parts are not aware of each other at all. So for example, the part that's so afraid of being vulnerable may not know that it may be a child part that still really deeply worries about the vulnerability piece and keeping themselves safe because children are vulnerable. And then there's the other part that's the adult that says, no, we've gone through all these experiences. That's proven we can pick people who are we can trust with our vulnerabilities. And I think the tapping helps those parts talk to each other.
Agreed.
Where the child's like, I'm not in charge of this all the time. Oh, I have people on my team to do this for me. I can relax now. I don't have to be so anxious about this topic. I think the tapping is really good for the parts sort of just gaining more awareness of each other and then healing the parts that are having the issue as well.
No, I totally agree. Similar to like I was saying after the first round of like having the combating ideas in the mind.
Yes.
It's
two parts.
It's two parts, and they're arguing with each other. And you're right. The tapping kind of lets them merge more together.
Yes, definitely. Great. So shall we do some tapping in now? The joy of tapping is we can tap to and we can tap in the good stuff as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
So I didn't say this before, but folks at home, if you want to tap and have a particular issue that you want to focus on, that's your main focus, you can focus on that and have that be your intention, or you can follow along with us. They tap in some positive affirmations. So side of the hand. Even though asking for help can feel really scary.
Asking for help can feel really scary.
I would like to be able to ask for help.
I would like to be able to ask for help.
Even though asking for help is vulnerable.
Asking for help is vulnerable.
I want to believe I deserve to receive help.
I want to believe that I deserve to receive help.
Even though asking for help is difficult for me.
Asking for help is difficult for me.
I choose to believe it's a skill I can practice and acquire.
I choose to believe that it is a skill that I can practice and acquire.
Top of the head. Asking for help is scary.
Asking for help is scary.
Inside of the eye. Asking for help makes me feel vulnerable.
Asking for help makes me feel vulnerable.
Side of the eye. It requires that I trust other people when I ask for help.
It requires that I trust other people when I ask for help.
Under the eye. And parts of me aren't sure I can trust anyone.
And parts of me aren't sure if I can trust anyone.
Under the nose. But sometimes I get pretty tired.
But sometimes I get pretty tired.
And the crease of the chin. And I wish I could ask for help.
And I wish that I could ask for help.
Collarbone. It's hard doing everything myself.
It's hard doing everything myself.
Under the arm. I know I can do everything myself.
I know that I can do everything myself.
Inside the wrist. I've worked hard to make sure I don't have to ask for help.
I've worked hard to make sure that I don't have to ask for help.
Side of the hand. But maybe I don't have to do everything on my own.
But maybe I don't have to do everything on my own.
Top of the head. Maybe there are people in my life I can trust.
Maybe there are people in my life that I can trust.
Inside corner of the eye. Maybe I've had experiences that have proven that there are people who are trustworthy.
Maybe I have had experiences that have proven that there are people that I can trust.
Side of the eye. I want to trust my own ability to choose good people.
I want to trust my own ability to choose good people.
The eye. I do know how to choose healthy relationships.
I do know how to choose healthy relationships now.
Now. Yes. Under the nose. I myself like to help people.
I myself like to help people.
Crease the chin. It makes me feel good to help people.
It makes me feel good to help people.
Collarbone. So maybe my loved ones will like helping me.
So maybe my loved ones would like to help me.
Under the arm. Asking for help isn't not an imposition.
Asking for help is not an imposition.
Inside the wrist. Asking for help is something every human deserves.
Asking for help is something every human deserves.
Side of the hand. Maybe it's okay to ask for help.
Maybe it's okay to ask for help.
Okay, let's pause there. And breathe. Again, if you're enjoying the tapping, keep going. Otherwise, check in, see how your body's feeling. Nice deep breaths, cleansing breaths. And check in and see how you're feeling. So, Eric, last check in. How's all that sitting with you?
No, I feel really good. I feel like warm, like really content. It's good. And during that last round, there was a little bit of lingering amount of shame over asking for help, and I think the tapping on the positive still helped move that shame out around asking for help.
Shame is a powerfully unpleasant emotion and a
Yes.
great one to tap on. I know, and asking for help, absolutely, it makes sense. It would be tied to shame. Again, the not being good enough, right? I'm not good enough to take care of things myself. I need help. I'm weak. I'm vulnerable. Those are all shameful feelings.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel great now. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being the clients and listeners at home. Anything that came up for you with this, keep tapping. And sometimes starting with the hard stuff is too hard. Starting with the if you listen to this again and want to skip ahead and start with the pleasant stuff, that might be a good way to help your system calm down so it feels safe to dive into the unpleasant emotions like shame.
For sure.
Mm.
Awesome. And thank you also, Stacy, and thank you, listeners. And we look forward to doing another Tapping Thursday next week.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.